Hi.
I'll leave you to it.
Okay, thank
See
you.
take it or you want
No, this is okay.
I want to see this project first live stream.
I gotta know it's exciting. How are you?
Good.
I think so. I'm good.
Is there a copy of the report somewhere?
Of what they're doing, I don't. From them.
Yeah. No, sort of wait. It's okay. We get this like. Because you never told me any of that stuff, and any links to it. Yeah. It's working. You'll see how many people are in.
I can. Right. So far, 3. Yeah. Let me just back this up. Oh, you better.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, they're taking. Yeah, you're right. No, there's a couple ones.
Okay.
Can everyone please rise to the flag? Notice of public hearing. Notice hereby given that a public hearing shall be held by the town board of the town of Windham at the town hall located at 371 New York State Route, New York, Route 296, Hensville, New York, 12439 on Thursday, April 30th, 2026 at 6 p.m. The purpose of this hearing is to hear comments from the public on the final proposed zoning regulations, local law number 2 of 2026 for the town of Windham, pursuant to New York State Town Law, Article 16, subsection 266, adoption first zoning law ordinance. At such time, anyone wishing to speak upon this matter shall be heard. Interested individuals may also submit written comments on the matter by a letter or email to the town clerk's office, care of Windham NY Town Clerk at gmail.com until 4 p.m. on the date of the hearing. A copy of the proposed local law can be found on the town's website at townofwindhamny.com and wearewindham2040.com. Copies of the full zoning text and accompanying zoning map are also available for view at the office of the town clerk at the address noted above. By order of the Windham Town Board, Bonnie Palmel, Town Clerk, dated March 10th, 2026. With that, we're gonna open the public hearing. The purpose of the public hearing is to get comments from the public on what section or sections of this document they agree with, would like changed, whatever their comment is, what we're gonna hear today. Jessica is gonna be here taking notes, so please state your name if you have a comment, so she can get it for the record. And also, there's a sign-in sheet at the end of the table. When we get done tonight, please sign in, so we can have you for attendance. With that, we're not gonna have a free-for-all with people jumping up and down and asking questions. I'm gonna go around the room and say, the floor is open to you. Please make your comment. With that, Ms. Craig, do you have any comments?
I don't.
Okay, and we're gonna try to keep it to 3 minutes time, so someone doesn't ramble on for an hour and the next person's 30 seconds.
Is there any, is there a way to get a copy of the? Yeah.
It's online right now.
Okay, so it's not, okay,
Yep.
good.
All right, grab a sheet, sir. Couple seats right here, John. All right, Molly, you have anything? How about you, Fred? Connor, I told you I'm going around the room. Mr. Crump,
Not yet.
Mrs. Crump,
Not at the moment.
Pat, you have submitted some comments. We have the comments
Okay,
in written form, but feel free to speak if you want to speak.
no, are those concerns gonna be addressed by the board or?
The board will take them into consideration when they get all the other comments before they make a decision.
Okay,
All right, but they were very well received, and thank you very much for your comments.
good.
Mr. McDonald,
No comments, thank you, Tom.
the gentleman behind, I forgot your name. Mr. Casey.
Thank you. No comments, thank you very much.
I know you got a comment, sir, Mr. Albert. Do you have anything?
I didn't have a comment to be talking about. I'm just thinking, I haven't seen your map yet, but I tried to take a look at it quickly, pardon me, 3 minutes. I just wanted to mention one thing, but you may have already made the change on the map, or I can do it later.
You can do it later, or you can
Okay.
take your 3 minutes and come up here a little quick and make your
I
comment.
just wanted to feel, which I feel when we had the,
Correct. And comments that were made in front of the commission took in consideration,
okay,
and they did make changes from that to what they delivered to the town.
okay. And then I'm just. Of course, I can make this here. And it looks pretty good.
All right, thank you, Mr. Albert. Mr. Starr?
Comment at this time.
Thank you. Tucson?
Not yet.
All right, the gentleman behind you with the Mountain King hat?
Yeah, I have a question. My name's Jeff Richard, and I have a house on Banksy Road. And the question for the committee is, Windham has all these irregular parcels. Some are acres, some are 3, some are 5, some are 10, and they're all different shapes. If you want to change or redo some of your parcels that you have, is that going to fall under the 3-acre minimum? Or does that stay grandfathered in? Or did I not phrase the question properly?
The first thing is, we're just having comments here. We're not
Okay.
questioning.
Oh, excuse me.
We will take your,
Okay, no comment.
we'll look into it for you.
Okay.
I believe what it's gonna say, but we just wanna have, what comments you have of the plan.
Got it.
Okay, afterwards, Helen Budrock is here from the comp team, the developer of the plan with the team. We'll stay around and answer questions. If anybody has questions. All right, how are you, Liz?
I have comments.
All right.
Sorry. I have comments, and I have tried to keep a number of 3 minutes. I'm sorry, I missed the printed deadline, but I can put a bunch for you.
That will still sensitive. Yep.
All right. Is there a tape recorder listening to me? Yes, thanks. I'll be very abundant. Okay. Thank you for creating zoning. It makes my job as an architect so much easier, and I look forward to having regulations to follow. So I prepared a list of recommendations and requested clarifications, section by section. First, in definitions, page 5, the multiple family dwelling specifies a building. Please provide a means of classifying multiple separate dwelling units in distinct buildings or parcels on one parcel. Page 7, the height. I'd like to know, is anything excluded from the building height, such as cupolas and chimneys? Also, page 7, historic colors. Please provide a means of determining acceptable historic paint colors. A schedule would be great, or a manufacturer. Article 3, Section 3-2, Statement of Purpose. The planned residential district purpose is stated for existing high-density residential developments to continue while limiting new high-density development to the resort district only. Since the entire resort district is effectively owned by one organization, which prohibits new developers from building apartment buildings, condominiums, and townhouses. My recommendation is to include some larger vacant lots from the rural residential districts in the planned residential district to create opportunities for new townhouse developments that would encourage investors to develop workforce housing and bring more full-time residents to the area. Article 4, Section 4-2, Use Regulations, page 15. The uses for retail sales and professional offices should be permitted by right in the business district rather than by special use permit. There are a number of reasons for this. As written, both are permitted by right only in the resort district and require special use permit in other districts. Currently, there are no built accommodations for these uses in the resort district. There are many built accommodations in the business district already in existence. The business district benefits from more public foot traffic with window shopping and walk-in opportunities, which these uses rely on. And it creates a barrier to entry for small businesses looking to join the community if they need a special use permit to do so. So my recommendation is if the town board seeks to restrict certain retail and professional businesses from occupying the business district, you could add a use classification that isolates the unwanted ones, for example, cannabis dispensaries or adult uses, things like that, and then allow the others by right and grant special use permits to those. And the town of Passaic has similar zoning language that you could refer to. Article 4, Section 4.3, area regulations on page 16. The residential density, the maximum dwelling units per acre. They're stated a number of different ways, 0.2 per acre in residential, rural, 0.5. Is that my 3 minutes?
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
Finish, Liz.
Okay. How does the rounding work? If we're rounding down, it's going to reduce the value of 6 to 9 acre lots significantly. The minimum livable floor area per dwelling unit is also prohibited for certain developers looking to invest in a series of smaller units for short-term rental, such as a few small 1-bedroom A-frames. So if we could spread that across a single parcel and divide it into multiple buildings, that would help a lot of my clients. A few more examples, I'll skip them for now. Off-street parking is going to be challenging for existing lots. You may already know this. Last, accessory dwelling units may not adequately expand the supply of affordable housing for local workforce as is stated. In my professional capacity as an architect, I have observed that the type of property owner interested in building long-term rental workforce housing is a builder or developer who's making an investment. Rarely is it a single-family homeowner living full-time on their property. Those folks build an ADU to short-term rent it or for their grandma to move in. So those short-term rental rates are higher than long-term renters can afford. And it just limits the pool of people who will be able to use the provision of accessory dwelling units. So my recommendation is to support the intent to establish suitable workforce housing, to expand the planned residential district to include some of the parcels from the rural residential district that are large enough to support apartment buildings and townhouses and similar properties like that. Last question, please. What is the procedure for transitioning open projects which comply with the existing law but not the new law? For example, projects already submitted for planning board site plan approval prior to the effective date. Are they grandfathered in? Do we need a building permit?
Afterwards, there's a young lady that's sitting over there by that gentleman, and I've had the conversation with her last week,
Yay.
and she'll have that answer for you.
Thank you. Excellent. All
All
right.
right,
That affects a lot of people. Thank you so much for your time. Good luck.
all right. Mrs. Bliss, what do you have? I don't know your name.
Oh, I'm also, thank you.
All right, Kristen, I think you're the next one.
Yes, no problem.
All right, the back row, Mr. Sharon, or somebody next to you, Mr. Sharon? No comment from the lady next to you?
No comment,
No comment?
no comment.
Sir, you have anything?
No comment.
Sir? Scott, we have your written comments, but the floor is yours as well.
Well, really, I just, maybe this would benefit some of the people in the room. I had asked you, and I appreciate the call and the discussion we had. I have what would be considered a non-conforming property. And so really, I was just trying to understand best how that is treated in relation to the new zoning plan. And we did have a discussion that may benefit others to hear your response here in the meeting. And then is there, and how does that relate to some of the regulations in terms of special permitting, hamlet versus rural residential? Since I'm a non-conforming property, how is that treated as a third category, or is this something that would anything change that designation moving forward? And I appreciate your comments.
All right, we will answer that after the meeting. Like I
Okay.
said, we had your comments on the Hamlet that you were written form, so there's part of the record.
Appreciate it.
Okay, we'll jump up here, Mr. Exum.
I'd like to say. I'm Connor Exum. I'm deeply opposed to zoning on many levels. First of all, this is going to zone out many of our longtime residents and their youth and their children. There's just no way zoning is going to ever give us the growth that we need in this community that will give us the ability to sustain ourselves into the future. If we want to build a community that has only one group of people, those that can invest in large scale mini estates, then we should use the zoning plans. It'll be perfect for them. Fortunately, if we want to have businesses, growth across the board, workforce, people that can do our EMT, that can be in our town highway department, our water department, this is not it. We will not survive this. You will zone them right out.
Mr. Exum, what's your comment on the plan? Not that you're against it, for or against it?
This is
What parts of it?
everybody.
You have a comment.
From your plant, from the fact that you have parking minimum that are going to
That's
increase,
what we're, that's.
that are going to
Yeah.
increase. You're going to increase prices on parking. Your 3-lot minimum is going to increase prices on homes. You can't even buy, if you were to be able to build $187,000 home, and if you bought 3 acres of land at roughly 45,000, which is a viable price here, you would be looking at a $348,000 home, which no one in Greene County can afford with 100% AMI, which is what our salaries are for our basic residents here. What are we doing? This is why I'm going to actually take the mantle and run again for town supervisor. So.
All right, thank you, sir.
A new voice here.
Mrs. Exum, you have anything?
No.
All right, Jonathan?
No comment.
Mrs. Jonathan, Liz, how are you?
Thank you, Tommy. Thank you, everyone. As District 1 Fire Commissioner, I just want to ask that you remain mindful going forward in some of the planning and some of the permitting and et cetera, that we're a volunteer corps, as you well know. And just to recognize that we have certain needs going forward, water, turnaround radius and so forth, that we can get in and access some of these potential developments, that we have limitations and needs as a fire organization. And there's some concern naturally that we'd be able to meet the demands of further development. And just to please be mindful of that, and to ultimately approach us, the chiefs, certainly with that level of expertise and insight that they would have in helping go forward in a cohesive way that accounts for what it is, our duties as a fire district.
Thank you. Mr. Madigan?
Yeah, but just keep in mind that more will be revealed, you know. But other than that, I have no comment.
All right. Mrs. Girlscamp?
No comment. No comment. I may have a question later, but
So we'll stay around for your question.
awesome.
All right, Mr. Bo?
Sure, thank you. Just, I guess what everyone's gonna do is look at their parcels and expand it out and think, more broadly from there. So starting in there, first off, I gotta say, 3 minutes is absurd, not enough time. This is a huge, huge thing to give us that little time. It's 14 minutes after and we're halfway through the room, so. My parcel on, and as the room knows, I ran against Tommy in 2019, so I feel a little bit slated on this one. My parcel on Elm Ridge is surrounded by business district, red. It's this little chunk right there, and if you see the sliver on the side, it's red, so it's surrounded. And we can't ask questions, but we can certainly pause the question of why is it that that parcel surrounded by red somebody decided in a room to leave that? And Tommy and I walked down on that property a few years ago, and I had asked him, hey, this would be great workforce property. We could run the sewer up here and do some great things for the town of Windham. And look at that. Now I can't. So it feels like this is being used as a tool against the people that Tommy does not agree with, just like he did to Connor just now. When Connor was giving an explanation of why he didn't like the plan, Tommy felt the need to stop it. So just don't love that attitude. So on the bigger picture, the special permission needed for all the businesses, think it's absurd. K-Ro's going around this, Kopsaki's going around this. Look around. Businesses aren't thriving right now. We're in a time when the mountain's changing who the mountain is, and we're all struggling. And we're throwing restrictions that has to come into this room and kiss the ring and be in the social group of Tommy. That's wrong. That's restricting growth, period.
Thank you for your comments. Mrs. Fair?
It's ridiculous.
Phillips, do you have any comments?
Yeah.
Mrs. Meehan?
Yes, I guess. I usually. I have a concern, and then I have a couple of questions. Okay.
Well, we'll answer later.
Yeah.
If you got the concern that what the plan was drafted, it's been online for months,
Okay,
feel free.
but just as a concern. All right, well, first I want to thank, the zoning committee and Helen for all their work for the past couple of years, regarding the zoning law, whether we end up and how we have or not. My concern is, which I've talked to them before at a couple of meetings, is regarding our enforcement of zoning. I'm hoping that the supervisor and the town board will see the need for a separate enforcement person for enforcing zoning in our community. And they would be responsible for investigating complaints, ensuring violation notices, and ensuring property use complies with local ordinances. And I'll have two other questions you said later.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Meehan. Erica, who's ever sit next to you, I can't see your hand. Deborah, Melissa, you have any comments?
Thank you.
Erica?
I actually do. It's kind of selfish. I would like to know if I have a quarter acre lot, is it gonna be reassessed? And are all of our properties going to be reassessed now that they're going to be limited?
We'll answer that
tax.
afterwards, but it's a
I
different
have-
subject, but we'll answer it. All right, young lady, I don't.
I'm Lisa. I met you a while ago. I came back to Windham because I grew up here and I love Windham. It's my home. I want to bring a small business here. I'm a stained glass artist. My concern is what I see going on. I live in Stratton, and I don't want to see our town die. And I feel like we're becoming an HOA. I spent 25 years in Florida, and like, man, you can't paint your mailbox any other color than everybody else's neighbor. And me, the whole mountaintop is of diverse people that are I mean, we're all trying to make a living here and trying not to be priced out, and it seems like 25 years has gone by, and man, I want to live here, and I see houses I can't afford. I'm looking at a dump that's full of raccoon poop, so I can try to live here. And what I want to do is bring an art to my hometown and live out my days and live here till I die. And I don't see where, man, it seems like a real hard struggle. So that's just my thoughts.
All right, thank you. Mr. Baker, Joe? No comments. Peter? Nope. No comment.
There are two quick comments. One, it's good to see you back.
Thank you.
And second one is, I'll put it as a comment. So if you have what would now be a non-conforming lot, my comment is it should still be able to be built on.
We'll answer that, and I think you'll be happy with the answer. The gentleman behind you, sir?
No comment, no comment.
No, no, no. Young lady?
No comment.
Matthew?
No comment.
So, Helen? Okay, the lady in the back row with the glasses behind Helen. Charity, how are you? Sure. Yeah,
Is this the only chance to comment?
right now, this is the public comment area,
All right.
part of the process.
I,
Could you spell your name, please?
I'm just Timothy, first now, I live on Begbie Road, see some of our neighbors.
All right.
Where Detlef previously used to live, if you know him, and this is crazy, Detlef was, but in a good way. Last time I was in this room, with this many people, was about 6 years ago. When I think the long-term plan or something had just come out, and there was like all these full seats. There were, I think, 3 people who were expressed some concern about the need for people to live here who support the short-term rentals and that whole economy. And it was Chip from the Mountain, a school teacher, said she couldn't afford to live where she teaches, and I think the head of HR from the Mountain. At that time, there was a FOIA request going around that sort of short-term rental lobby had put in to ask who in the plan had made a comment that we should talk about the impact that these laws will have on the economy of Windham. But I found that kind of embarrassing. And I didn't make a comment at that time because I just moved here and I didn't feel sort of prepared or quick to say anything in the town I just moved to. 6 years later, I just want to say and register my desire for this town to be a place where the stained glass artist woman can live, the contractors who serve the short-term rentals can live. It's a climate of fear. I talk to these guys. They don't want to say anything bad about their clients for fear of losing their contracts. I've seen places where there's a sort of divide between the people who own property and the sort of underclass of servants, and I just don't want Windham to be that kind of place. And more than it already is. So yeah, thanks for listening to me. I'll look forward to like hearing details on this and asking questions later.
Thank you for your comment.
Yeah.
Next, Mr. Sure.
So I have a couple comments and then also questions at the same time. So I was wondering whether there was an economic impact study done for what zoning was going, this particular zoning was going to do to our area. Farmers market, commercial recreation, and artisan manufacturing. Those all strike me as a business district need, something that belongs in the business district. So I'm basically wondering why they would need special permission. Thank you.
All right, Diane?
Nothing from me tonight, thank you.
All right, end of the aisle, we got your glasses.
Nothing,
The gentleman that just walked in, you have any comments on the plan?
no comment.
You're the one that just walked in?
No,
Oh, you were here when you get back, different person, all right.
Thank you.
All right, with that, we've heard all the comments. Motion to recess the public hearing.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hearing is closed. Feel free to come around. Helen's here, the board's here. We'll answer any questions and come up to the table.
Wait, I'm good, yeah. I don't mind if it's there. Thank you. Okay, bye.